This is an Ellis Mowers and More small engine repair. Stay connected on Instagram and Facebook at Ellis Mowers and More. Comments or questions? Leave them below or email me, ellis@ellismowers.com. Parts used in today's repair are found using the links in the description below. And as always, like and subscribe for more small engine content. On today's repair, we're going to be looking at something I've already fixed because I forgot to shoot an intro video for it. But this is a John Deere LA130. Worked on it for somebody at our church. Gave it to me to work on and fix for them, and I'm going to sell it to them on consignment. So I fixed it. I'll take my chunk out of it for fixing it, and then a little bit of a seller's fee to sell it as well. What it came in having issues with were a couple of things. When you turn the blades on, it would cut off like no power. That was an easy fix, thankfully. But the other one was running on one cylinder. What you're going to see here in a minute is it was pretty caked in oil, and a lot of times what happens when these machines get a bunch of oil caked around them is that they run hot and they'll pop the valve guides. So that's what happened to this one. You're going to see the carnage here in just a second. Overall, I'll give you all a quick look at the condition of it since I've already cleaned it and everything before we get started. It's pretty good overall. They had done some repainting and stuff to it. They added a high back seat to it that is not the original seat here. I had to put some ATF in the tires to get them to stay up because this mower had been sitting a while because the guy that was using it is in the early stages of dementia, can't really use lawnmowers anymore, hence why they're trying to get rid of it. Batteries from 2020 still good. Air filter was good. Of course, everything's clean now. You're going to see it very dirty here in just a second, but it's got the 21 horsepower Briggs. Deck's in pretty decent shape, and it's got about 650 hours on it. So, given all of that, I think it's going to be a good mower for somebody, but in the process here, what I'm going to do is I'm pretty much going to show you how to change the cylinder head out on it, diagnose the issue. Like I said, it was running on one cylinder. I pulled the spark plug out, made sure it had compression. When I realized it had compression, I knew that the issue was in the valves, the push rods, and the head. So what we're going to start with here, I'm going to pull the valve cover off. I've got it on my mower jack, and we're going to just I'm going to show you everything that happened to it, and then we're going to fix it. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Well, I ended up pulling the right side valve cover on this because we saw that it didn't have any compression, right? Or it wasn't firing. And this is what I found, so that's good. I wonder if this thing just ran too hot or something and blew out the push rods. The odd thing is I don't see the other part of that push rod. Everything looks like it's intact in there, so I'm going to see. I think I've got some push rods for this. It's kind of like one of them things you just want to put it in. I'm wondering if it just got so loose that it ended up falling off. I've seen this before on these machines. Looking inside there, I don't see anything odd. So, excuse me for the voice crack, but I don't see anything odd. So, let's see if I can source some of these push rods and see if we can get this thing back, put these push rods in and see if that fixes our issue with it running. Alright, so we got it into the garage because I was going to just put some push rods on it. Well, it's not that easy. If you look hard enough right here, and this would be the exhaust valve, it's popped out of its seat. The valve guide's popped out, so the course of action to fix this is going to be putting a cylinder head on it. I have a cylinder head here. That's not that hard of a job. I just don't have the cylinder head gasket in stock. So I am going to just kind of put this out, order the cylinder head gasket, and see if, or we're just going to wait on it for it to come in, swap this out, and after we do that, this thing right here will probably be ready to roll again. I do need to fix the tires. They seem to be going down despite them being relatively new tires. And I have to put a spring back on this because I had to rob a spring off of it for another repair, which I have the spring already for. But we got to put a cylinder head on this thing because if we don't, then this is probably going to happen again, even if we repair it. I've got plenty of these off of blown up engines, so this should be a non-issue to take care of. Y'all, I know this looks like a mess. I'm going to clean it up. The outside was already clean, the engine is not. We're going to make sure that everything is good before we give it a good cleaning. Either way, my hands are going to get really, really dirty, regardless of whether or not it's clean, because there's a ton of junk down here in this thing just from where it's been run. So what I got to do is I got to take off the cover here, take off all this stuff. We got to get the head off, and I have to clean everything up head-wise and then put everything back on. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. We've got an oil leak somewhere too, but once we spray everything off, we can see where that's coming from. It may be coming from the lower seal, which is going to be a fun one if we've got to do that as well. But put y'all on time lapse. I've got a head ready to rock and roll on this thing, and so we're just going to take the old head off, put the new head on, and hopefully be done with this thing in about 30 minutes or so when it comes, and have it when it comes to at least this repair, and then hopefully have it firing on 2 cylinders again. We'll wash everything off, make it all look pretty, and then if we need to source another oil leak, we will do that. I don't know exactly where it could be coming from yet, just because it's oil all over the place. So let me see what we got. I'll put y'all on time lapse. We're going to take care of this right here next. Time to put it back together. I've already got the new head gasket on it. I've cleaned the gasket material off of this, as well as the replacement head. It's not a new head, but came off of an engine that was blown up. I have cleaned that off again and cleaned inside it some. Again, there's no valve guide issue or anything with this one from what I can tell, which is a good thing. Again, you can repair these, but I want this to be sent out and not really have to worry about it. So what we'll do is we'll just put this cylinder head on, clean everything up like it needs to be cleaned up. I'll get all this gasket material off before I put it on, and then we'll just slap this thing on here, put the exhaust back on, intake, and I had to drill out a hole here for the intake because the original bolt strip, this is from a later model Briggs, like a 2016, and they used that awful Loctite adhesive to keep these heads and everything on. Did not make it user friendly for people to work on, so I had to drill that out. We'll have to be a little bit mindful of what we do whenever we put this bolt back in for the intake. But I'm going to clean off this gasket material here for the RTV. I have a gasket that goes over the valve cover that came with the gasket kit set that I bought. So we'll clean that off, put y'all back on time lapse. We'll get it all back together next. is we're at the point where we can at least start it here, and I've got to end the day today right here. What I've done is I put everything back on that's necessary. I do need to sort out this intake bolt. I'll do that a little bit later, but it should still run on this second cylinder now that we've got the valves, the head on, torqued, and everything sorted out. So let's see if we've got it. It may take a second for it to pick up. It will be a smoke show when it cranks up, though, if it does run on the 2 cylinders. So let's try it out here. Gotta find the right key. There we go. All right, here we go. We've got 2 cylinders. We do need to sort out, for some reason it's killing the spark whenever we turn it and throw it on all the way. So I don't know what's going on with that. Or it may not be killing the spark. It might just be we're about to find out. If it's killing the spark, we've got a safety switch issue that we need to sort out. So let's see. Alright, so we got a spark issue with some sort of switch or something. I don't know if it's the seat safety. Well, it can't be the seat safety because it wouldn't run if that was the case. It could be. Oh, I can already tell you that's what it is. Because look at this. See that? Whenever you push it down right there, it doesn't go down as far as it needs to, because it looks like somebody's put a bunch of washers on this. So I wonder if I could just put like a bolt or something in there, or take the washers out, one of the two. This seat has been swapped, so I could see about putting a different seat on it, but I need to figure that out. But apart from that, I mean, we got it running on both cylinders. It runs pretty good. I just need to put a bolt and a nut in here, or put like something to self-tap so that it taps through there, or just put give me a tap and die and just do my thing on that. But that's all I wanted to see today, guys. I got to hit it up tomorrow because I got to go somewhere tonight. But we got it run on both cylinders, and that's a good thing. All right, so before we end up, I'll show you the final product on the other one, LA130. I did want to mention that I do have a second one in here right now, and it has the exact same issue. So popped up intake valve seat, or valve seat on the right cylinder. So luckily I got another cylinder head. We're just going to pop that one on. Again, there's probably a way to repair it. I have seen on forums where it is, you can't always trust the repair on these whenever you repair them. So I've got good cylinder heads here. Swap them out, get everybody back going again. But this one's not in quite as good a shape. We're going to go back to the one that I just fixed on the video. I just had to go to town yesterday. It's just been insane around here with the amount of repairs and stuff that has literally, it's covering the driveway now. So we've got to get a bunch of stuff here fixed and sorted out and gotten out of here as soon as I possibly can. So that's the situation. It's just kind of interesting that yet another LA130 is here, and it also has the same exact issue. And here's the one that we just finished. As you can see, it's really turned out pretty nice. Did a little bit of just a glaze of transmission fluid on it. Put a little bit of air ATF in the back tires because they were going flat over the course of a couple of days. And the left rear actually needed a new valve stem, so we put a valve stem in it. Got all of this back together, and it is good to go. I got it listed for $800. This is not my mower. It is somebody from church and who doesn't use it anymore and wanted me to fix it and sell it for them. I take a cut of it, obviously, but they also get some money as well. So let's still warming up, but you can hear it sounds pretty good. Running on both cylinders now too, which is good. Move it out here, I'll show you that the blades didn't work. The safety switch I just had to unplug and plug back in. About 654 hours on it, so it takes a second for it to find its idle there, but almost all these Briggs V-twin surge at idle just the way that they are. But it does, like I said, runs much better, runs on both cylinders, got full power now. Again, you can see where the deck's been painted, and like, this is not a perfect machine by any means. High lift back seat there, but I still think it will fetch, I don't know, probably about $800. I think there was just so much oil caked on it that it was just leaking down. I don't really see where the oil is causing a lot of issues anymore, so that's good as well. Whatever leak it was, it may have been just because the oil was getting thin because of the running on one cylinder. Who knows how long it had been running on one cylinder. So, but yeah, we've got it all fixed. I do want to change the oil and the filter in it. I've already sharpened the blades, but everything else is good to go on it. Alright guys, so that is everything on this John Deere LA130. Again, we replaced the right side cylinder head on it because the other one had a valve guide that slipped out of its keeper. And ready to rock and roll again. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Again, not really, or a pretty lengthy video I would suppose, but this is a pretty common issue. Again, so common that I have the exact same mower in there that needs one that I'm about to get on here next. So thanks again for watching this video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. We got this LA130 back up and going to sell so that it can live a new life in somebody else's yard. Well guys, a little extra here. After making that video, thinking I had everything done, I didn't. What I found after I started it up, because the guy had a trade deal, and we're going to still do the trade deal, but what was happening is after I'd run it, there'd be oil just pouring down the side here. Now I knew it didn't have I knew it had a little bit of an oil leak, but it hadn't shown itself again until this morning. Sump gasket's bad, so I got to put a sump gasket on that engine. I said, well, if this means I get it out the door, I have a LA120 John Deere here that had a good V-twin on it. I don't have a deck for it. The machine is pretty crusty. I was going to throw a deck on it at some point, but engine was fine. So I said, you know what? Get this thing out the door. Either way, an engine's got to come off and go on, and I didn't really have time to wait, so I just pulled the engine off of that and put it on here. It doesn't have any oil leaks, and it actually has a few 100 hours less than the one that was on it. Runs just as good, so it's going to be a good machine. I washed it up, changed the oil in it, and let me just show y'all here. So you can hear it running good, ready to rock. So I'm going to put the hood back on it. I've got a trade coming for this machine, and I think y'all enjoy what the trade is. Just follow me on Instagram, Facebook. I'll show you what it is. But in the meantime, I really do appreciate y'all watching, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Take care.